Apologies about that. I think I had an error on my end. Hey mate, how are you? There we go. I had a playback area on my end. I had to get out of it. I think I fixed it anyway. How we going, man? Good Friday evening. What picks you guys want to see? I've loaded in a couple of other people's mock drafts that they've posted. So I don't know if you guys should know probably Dill Alexander and True Footy. Hey Lou, how are you, mate? So I've got their mock up here. How they expect it to play out, who's on the clock, and the leftover players. Didn't make their top 30. Got our old viewer drafts as well. It's a different look. Dersma going to Melbourne. What scenario you want to see, Lou? I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, mate. Thank you for popping in. So Dersma goes 1. Eagles want Ewan. CDT's going 2. Actually, let's go Roby 2. Let's go Roby 2. Where is he? I reset the whole draft. Dersma 1. Ewan 2. Roby 3. I haven't, mate. No. My Blue Haven, welcome, mate. I can give you a rundown of the app we've put together here. So up top here, I've got my little tabs. Big board's where I populate the player pool. I've got a trade simulator, so if someone's got a trade that they'd like explored, we can do that. So, for instance, yesterday, the Eagles traded pick 53 to the Dogs for a future fourth, and this will populate in our live draft. You'll see pick 53 now belongs to the Western Bulldogs. I've got to bake this into the default, so I'm not doing this every demonstration, but that's the gist of it. And we just see, Western Bulldogs. We've got the points tally as well. So when people need to match a point for father, son, or next gen, that's what we're looking at, and that we'll know. Whitman, I have not shown this on Big Footy, mate. No, might be worth getting someone to pop that on there. That'd be nice. Let them know, because I think they do a few mock drafts on there. I can make the process a little quicker for them. Carlton trade pick 9 for Crows. Okay, so Carlton. Oops, sorry, that's a Crows one. My bad. So Carlton sending pick 9 to the Crows for 16 and a future first. I think they would take the 2026 future first, because that 2027 future first is going to be compromised by the Tassie Devils. So let's just assume Adelaide finish near the top 4 again. That Tassie Devils draft, you're looking at a pick, could be in the 40s, 30 to 40. If Tassie Devils are taking every second pick, that's going to really bump it down. So I would do that, and I think Carlton could accept that. The only other issue you're looking at for that is whether they've got enough to match Harry Dean now, and they definitely won't be able to match Ison. So up here you got your points, 2758. They're giving away 1355. Okay, did that calculate correct? Oh, no, they picked up points back, didn't they? Sorry. Yeah, they're getting pick 16 back, and round 1, execute the trade. Adelaide now have pick 9. All right, so it's doable, and we can play it out and see who the players we expect to be available for Adelaide at that point. So we got Dersma's going there. Hewlin's going to Gold Coast. I'm going Eagles, taking Roby. Richmond will bid on Patterson, keep Gold Coast honest, and then they're going to bid on Annabelle. They're going to take CDT and Xavier Taylor. So I would expect Essendon to bid on Harry Dean as early as now. This is almost a best case scenario for Carlton, that Eagles and Richmond haven't done it. They've just got enough, okay? So they've given up picks 14 and 18, so that's their second first rounder that they had, and the Adelaide pick. They're still going to have enough to bid. All right. As you can see, that Adelaide pick is still getting bumped further down. We actually traded for pick 9. It's already bumped down to pick 13. Essendon are going to take Sharp, Cumming for Essendon. And then we're looking at Melbourne can take Schubert and let's say Lindsay. And this is that Adelaide pick. So they've got plenty of options. Adelaide need probably quick, nifty player, I would imagine. Doverston would be handy. They can get Doverston for sure. How many players do I have in the pool? I think it's 99. How many picks we got here? 13, add 79. What's that? 92. 92 players. I think we're only expecting to take 57-ish in the draft this year. So I'm hoping I've caught everyone. There might be a couple that I've never heard of, or just guys that clubs pick from the clouds, but I'm hoping I've caught most of it. Nearly double of what we're expecting to get taken in the end. Hawthorn, I still think Ollie Greaves for Hawthorn. Don't know who the Giants are going to take. I got no idea. Hibbins Hargrave, maybe. Hey Campbell, how are you, mate? Yeah, I've tried to reach out to True Footy. I'm just having a bit of difficulty getting through to them. They've got their messages blocked. I think they probably get flooded with questions. I couldn't. If someone could let them know in whatever way, I'd be keen to do that. I popped on Blue Abroad yesterday. Showed him all the knockback effects of where the Harry Dean bid could come. But yeah, I'd be keen to that. I believe he's an Eagles fan as well, which helps. They're a big player in this draft. Eagles will take Farrow and who are we going to take? Oscar Taylor. They need defenders, the Dogs. They got a good forward line, good mids. Rucks are fine. I've actually loaded up True Footy's mock draft from his last video in here already. I can show you that. So that was their top 30. Him and I think it was Dylan Alexander. That was their mock draft that they put together. But yeah, so as far as Adelaide, if Adelaide were to make that pick, it would be pick 13 effectively for future first for Carlton. Makes sense for Carlton though, because they will get a third first rounder to trade up for Walker. They definitely want Walker from all reports. He's looking at like a number one pick player. Oscar Ainsworth. I need to update that. I've got him at the top 50, 60. I haven't seen him. Let me have a look on my spreadsheet where all these scouts are. So I've got my power rankings here of where I've tried to track where people think they're going. Ainsworth, yeah, Ainsworth hasn't really been getting put in the top 20 to 30. This was the latest one, Craft the Draft on the 6th I've updated. There's Cal's mock. So you can. This is what I've based my ranges on. You can see as the year's gone on, I've kind of updated the power rankings of the latest scout, and I've just tried to make it as accurate as I can off that. I can't sit here and tell you I've watched the actual footage of these guys, every minute of it. I haven't, so I have to rely on what other people's perceptions are. Who else we're thinking? What do you guys want to see played out? Blue siding 9 back. Yeah. I agree. I think that makes more sense for both teams. Actually, got to reset the draft because that's throwing everyone off. There we go. Eagles move back seven slots, back to 41, which is fine. Remember, they don't have 53. 53 is gone because that got traded to the Dogs. But yeah, they pick up a little bit of points there. The 85 points. $34 will turn into $29. Carlton trade pick 9 and 11 to Essendon's 21 and 27. You got to throw something else in there. Oh, 6. I didn't say that. Sorry. Yeah, that's probably a better trade for Carlton. Much more points. But if they're getting pick 6, they may as well just take Harry Dean there anyway. And they've got a few later picks for... Actually, let's play that out because a lot of those points are going to get burnt when they take Harry Dean at pick 6. Yeah. So Carlton got pick 6. Zeke Hewlin. CDT. Roby. Taylor. Essendon will take Sharp. Harry Dean, that pick 6 ends up being pick 9. So now Carlton have got 1674. They can match any bid. They've already got enough points for any bid on Ison at this point. They can come at, let's say, in the late 20s. They'll probably get an early compo back. So that's a way to lock up Harry Dean and Ison for sure. So what was that draft? That trade? That trade was pick 9 and 11 for 6, 21 and 27. And then Essendon can end up with Sharp. They've just missed out on Cumming. They could probably get Cumming. Let's say Melbourne go with a Schubert instead. They're obviously trying to get tall with bringing in Mychek. Can Carlton pick someone else at 6 and still get Dean? Let's have a look. So that pick 6 is now pick 9 because of the matched bids. Carlton can take... Who would you like Carlton to take, Lou? Who's the best case scenario for Carlton at pick 9? Lindsay. All right, let's do it. So take Lindsay. Let's say Melbourne want Harry Dean straight after. They've still got enough. And they'll get a compo pick. It'll be inserted below Port and above Saints at around pick 55. So all the way back here. Below Port and above Saints. So that'll be where your compo pick ends up for that. So you're getting pushed back. You get a late compo. You won't get one in the 20s. So I don't know if you're going to be able to get Ison. How many points you got left over? 550. So providing a bid only comes after pick 27, you can match that in that instance. If Essendon didn't want Harry Dean and the Harry Dean bid fell a bit further, let's say they want Cumming and Schubert, and Essendon want to pair Dyson Sharp with Harry Dean, that pick bumps up a bit. Sydney and Carlton. So where's that? That's up there. Whereas before we were down here. So you've moved up. Your compo picks moved up about 9 picks just from that bid falling back 2 places. If Richmond bid on Harry Dean at pick 6, reboot it. Are you talking about with the trades in place or just pick 6? So pick 6, if it goes at pick 6, they're going to get a compo pick at around pick 23, which is just before North's 2 picks, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is. So that's where it would end up. Say Richmond take Roby. Yeah, I don't think exactly that trade wouldn't work because you're still going to be behind Richmond and you're still going to have to burn pick 6 and whatever it was a pick in the 20s. You'd still have to burn it. That trade would probably have to go down after Richmond make their picks. So Richmond aren't looking at that. So I think you've still got 5 minutes after a pick to do whatever you do. So you'd wait for Richmond to go, then make that trade for that first Essendon pick. And you're running the risk of someone that Essendon didn't think was going to fall to them, that they just want to take them anyway. Hey, KB Sports, how are you, mate? You've probably already explored it, but can you look at the fall of Gold Coast first selection 15 for the 2? Yeah, we can look at that for sure. So what he's referring to here is the Gold Coast trying to get more points to not go into deficit for Patterson, providing that a Patterson bid comes in early. So an option that Gold Coast can do is let North trade up, which is pick 15, Gold Coast first pick. That's going to get burnt anyway for Hewlin, and they get 25 and 26 back. They're going to pick up an extra 178 points, which is going to be the difference between going into deficit for Patterson and not, providing that Patterson bid comes in at about the 4-5 range. So we'll execute that. Where are we? North have moved up to 15, 21 and 24. Well, that's Gold Coast. They got a triple header. They're all going to go. The Gold Coast have got a big chunk of points there. Yeah, you're right. It's I'll just redo it for you. It's 178 points, KB Sports. So I've got the tallies here, net for Gold Coast, and we can actually, if you wanted to explore it, they can't do that before the draft starts now. So these are all live trades now from here on in. They've closed that window last night. This trade would have had to have gone before, but if you were to play it out in real time, like let's pretend that the clock's running for everyone now. Hewland, I think we're all pretty comfortable that the Eagles are going to make Gold Coast pay up. Let's say they wanted Patterson just as much. They're 222 points in deficit, so they're not going to be able to match it. So Gold Coast needs 229 to put the bid in. That trade won't work for them. They probably got to do it before that Yulin bid comes in, because that 15 gets burnt as soon as Yulin goes through. So they really, I don't even know if that's possible. You'd have to do it when West Coast are on the clock almost immediately as soon as the draft starts, I would imagine. Because they've closed the window, I believe, for pre-draft trading. Yeah, when the draft opens. So that's what you're looking at there. It'll need to be before that second bid on Yulin, because then they don't own pick 15 anymore at that point. Eagles trade pick 2 and 13 to Essendon for 5, 6 and 27. Let's have a look. Eagles pick 2, Essendon 5, 6, 27. Big win for West Coast. I'd be surprised if Essendon do that. I think you'd want to throw in a 13 or something on the way back. That levels it out a bit more. I assume that's what you mean. Oh, you did. You wrote 2 and 13. I'm just blind. My bad. Execute trade. And Melbourne trade pick 7. And a future first. Who's going to be their more valuable future first? They've got Gold Coast as well. So they're going to trade their own future first, hold on to Gold Coast. Gold Coast are going to end up higher on the ladder. Yeah, sorry, I got you now. I missed it. I was just reading it too quick. Pick 7 and a future first for Richmond's pick 3. Uh 635 points for a future first from Melbourne. Let's say Melbourne finished bottom 4. Yeah, Richmond are miles ahead with that one. Miles ahead, about 1,000 draft index points ahead. I think they do that. It's whether or not Melbourne wanted to do that. So who are you thinking for Essendon and Melbourne? Might be on a bit of a delay here. And who wanted... Mitch, who are you thinking for Essendon and Melbourne? Essendon take CDT, Melbourne take Roby. Okay. Essendon taking CDT. Melbourne are taking Roby. That puts Richmond back on the clock. Who else we got on? Mitch, who are we looking for the next 3? Remember, West Coast have got 5 and 6 as well. Grill for Richmond. West Coast have got back-to-backs here. I would have thought that I would have put some bids in by now, unless you wanted the normal bids where I've been putting them. Let's just make these bids, I think. I don't think Euland's dropping as far as 5. Yeah, bids are given. Okay, let me write it back. Grill, Roby, CDT. Let's just put the bids where they should be. Essendon are going to go bid on Euland. And then they're going to take CDT. Melbourne will bid on Patterson. No, we'll go. I don't want to go into deficit. We'll go Brizzy and then Patterson. And then Melbourne will take Roby. Richmond are taking Grill. That look a bit more realistic. Who are we going with? Eagles back-to-back. I don't know who Eagles would be taking. I think Sharp is a given. You want Taylor at 7. Yeah, bids are given. I think Eagles could take Sharp. Sharp and Cumming would be pretty good for Eagles. Dersma, Sharp and Cumming. I think they'd take that. Richmond take Taylor and Grill. Melbourne. Carlton are laughing with this draft. I say Melbourne want Harry Dean. And then Melbourne want key forward. All right, you want to do a mock using only the following trades. Essendon give 21 and 27. For Gold Coast, 18 and 36. So Gold Coast are losing points there. They're not going to do that. We can do it. We can play it out. Gold Coast will need something extra to make that trade worthwhile, especially points. Oh, no, ignore me. I'm talking absolute nonsense. I'm reading it wrong. Gold Coast are getting points out of that. Essendon 21 30. Carlton give 9 for Eagles 13. And 34. Pretty even trade. And then Carlton give Adelaide 11 for Adelaide's future first. So that's for Cody Walker. Yeah, sorry, I misread it. Campbell, you're right. And you want to play it out. So the bids are just normal bid orders. Euland at 2, Patterson at 4, Annabels at 5, Dean at 6. Okay, let's play it out. So Dersma, Ewan's going at 2. Let's say Eagles take CDT in this one. Patterson at 4. Annabelle at 5. And Dean at 6. So Carlton have traded away 16, 29, and 38. They're just going to have enough. Yeah, so they can do that. They can get Dean while locking up Cody Walker. It's not a bad little scenario. The next best pick is at pick 41 in that instance. So they've got enough. They're not going to get that their second academy player in Ison with that situation. But if you're locking up the best player of next year's pool, you'd probably take it, I think. Roby and Grill for the Tigers. Roby, Grill. Taylor and Sharp for Essendon. I think most teams could walk away pretty happy with that. Melbourne will end up with... I still think Melbourne will take Schubert. I think that's where he lands. Let's have a look. Widescreen. Eagles take Philippou. Interesting. Cal told me, if Cal said it, I'm fine with that. He's the only one that knows anything, really. So let's go Melbourne taking Cumming and Lindsay. Eagles take Philippou. Would Hawthorn take Schubert? They've already got a few young tools. Who would they take? I was thinking Hibbins Hargraves. Adelaide end up with 15. What was that trade that Adelaide made? Adelaide, they asked for pick 11. This is at Carlton, the second Carlton pick. That ends up falling to pick 15. They could take Schubert to replace Tex Walker, maybe. Walker's only got 1 or 2 years left. Put him up there with Thrillthorpe and what's his name? Fogarty. Not a bad forward line. Gives them plenty of targets. I reckon that's an interesting draft, actually. I don't mind it. Let's save it. SGC, Carlton, West Coast, and Carlton, Adelaide. Come back, visit that one. Giants are taking Farrow. They'll be happy with that. That's fallen nicely for them. Doggies would take a defender, you'd think. Oscar Taylor. Their midfield's set. Their forwards are set. And then you got the Crows again. Dogs take Taylor. Yeah, that's what I thought so. I'll have a look at that for you, widescreen, in a moment, mate. No worries. Adelaide looking at Barker. So I think most teams can be pretty happy with that. Don't know about West Coast taking Filippo and leaving Farrow. Because Farrow's already going to be a teammate of like the Bo Allens and that, I think. Marsh is going to Essendon. Geelong. If Doverson went to the Bombers. Yeah, Doverson's forward. Have we taken him yet? No. Who's their small forward? They've got Kako. Geelong bid on King. Sydney can match it at that point. Geelong could just make it a star out of Ollie Greaves. I can see that happening. Dockers play for Pickett. We're back to Hawthorn. You reckon Geelong would take Ledoke? I think they've got Jezza Cameron and Shannon Neal up front already. I don't think they play three tours, do they? We can do it. Let's go back. Where are we? Geelong. Ledoke. I think that's how you say his name. Can Carlton trade 11 and Swans future first to Ruse? Let's have a look, Lou. I'm going to give it some others a shot here, Campbell. Let's reboot it. Can Carlton trade 11 for the Swans future first? Swans don't have a future first. They've given that away in the Charlie Curnow trade. Future first to Ruse 25-26. Oh, okay. I've misunderstood you. I think Carlton has it. Yeah, I'm with you. I've misunderstood you. Yep. North, I'm with you. 25 and 26. Pick 11. And Ruse future first in 2026. I don't know if they want to do that again. They got pretty burnt. So what did North get out of it? North move up. North can back themselves to finish higher than Sydney, and then that's a great trade for them. Yeah, it's pretty fair. It is pretty fair, actually. I like that. I think everyone's expecting Sydney to be top 6 at least this year, provided they don't get belted with injuries again. I need to update that. In the brackets, I need to include whose future first that was. I have to figure out a way to do that. That's a nice little upgrade there. Upgrade future first team name. It does all the default ones. It just doesn't do the traded ones. Hey, Kieran, how are you, mate? I want to see you guys guess first. I think it's pretty obvious the way I talk. Guess which team I support. I'll let you know in a minute. I want to see what you guys guess. You got it, Lou? Yeah. Everyone's on it. Correct. I'm a West Coast supporter. And I know we are terrible. Everyone's shining through, I think. Yep. Correct. Yep. Everyone's picked it. I've tried to hide it, but yeah, evidently not. It's all right. The only way is up from here. Nah, I don't mind Freo. Usually West Coast supporters hate Freo. I don't hate them at all. When they're up and about, it is good to watch. And yeah, I do go to a few Freo games here and there. Surely if Bombers trade for pick 2, let's reboot it. West Coast pick 2. So Bombers, the way they can definitely get that across the line is 2 and 13 for 5 and 6. Tinge purple, yeah. So you're thinking they're taking Roby, Dersma, Yuland, Roby. I think Roby can go anywhere. Roby's like one of those players that everyone just kind of wants him and he'll fit in anywhere. He's not like a needs. He's just one of those midfielders that can potentially be one of those ones that can break a game open, you know, if he hits his potential. CDT's just got the track record of rucks and that taking a while to develop. We're not sure if West Coast can really wait around for that. Ideally, I want West Coast to take Dersma and Sharp. I don't care where they take Sharp. I just want them to take Sharp. If they get it at 2, that's fine. But I think they can move back and get a bit more value out of it, and then still get him at 5, 6, 7. We need clearances. We are absolutely terrible at clearances. Especially with Elliot Yeo out last year. All right, guys, I'm going to give this another 10 minutes. I'll give it an hour stream this morning. I might pop one on later on the Savo as well. I've got to get to the hospital, see my boy. Yeah, exactly. It's a shame. He's a good player when he's up and running. He's just constantly injured. Thanks, White. Yeah, he's all right. He's just born. He's a newborn. We had a kid on Tuesday, but he came in a little undercooked at 35 weeks, so he's a bit 5 weeks too early. So he's just in the incubators. He's going all right. Perfectly healthy. We're not concerned. We just need to build him up a bit. If Essendon for pick two, if Essendon trade for pick two and retain pick six through a trade first with Gold Coast for Carlton. Hang on. If Essendon for pick two, let me get it up. Essendon are getting pick two. How are they going to get it? And they retain pick six. Yeah. So they're going to have to go 5, 21, 2 and 34 maybe. You need to throw more at West Coast. That's potentially doable. I don't think West Coast will do it because they've got too many picks back there anyway. Thanks, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, he's awesome. They would trade for Gold Coast pick 15. They do a trade with Suns or Carlton. Who are we thinking? They would do 5 and 15 for 2. Oh, okay. Sorry. So Essendon have got to do trades beforehand. I'm with you. So they're getting pick 15 off Gold Coast. How are they getting that? 21, 27? Yep. And then West Coast pick 2 for 5 and 15. Yeah, don't mind that. So then it goes West Coast 13, 15. I think West Coast will want to bump up the order though. Carlton can trade pick 11. West Coast throwback 41. I've already gotten out of that one. My bad. Does 27 and 30 work for 50? Let's have a look. $27 and 13. I don't think that's going to work for Gold Coast. It does. It gives them 14 points. I don't think it's going to move the needle. It's not. It gives them a little bit of points, but they're better off doing that 15 for North's 2 picks rather than 27 and 30. That's the problem. Gold Coast can just trade that away to North instead of Essendon. You need to throw a little bit more their way. I think they end up with 179 points if they do the North trade rather than this Essendon trade. Richmond trade back 4 to 7. Who's got 7 at the minute? Melbourne. Seven and Gold Coast first. That's doable. Yeah, I think Richmond would do that for sure. Especially because they've still got pick 3. And then Richmond trades 7 to the Crows for Crows pick this year and future first. So they've turned 4 into 16 and 2 future firsts. I think Richmond would be loving that. I'm not sure whether both teams would go ahead and do it. All right, guys, that's going to do me for this stream. I'll try to get it back on later on. Thank you very much for checking in. And we can go through a few more scenarios when I'm back on. Have a good Saturday. Enjoy yourselves. See you on the next one. Thank you.